Our webinar today is entitled Industry Update, PLM Investment and SAP PLM Vision. The market for PLM solutions continues to grow and mature. This webinar will provide an industry update on the investments and trends in the PLM market presented by the global PLM industry consultancy firm CIMdata. To further understand SAP's position in the growing PLM market, this webinar will include an overview of SAP's PLM vision presented by SAP, followed by some comments regarding the significant increase in PLM implementations over the last year or so by LeverX. My name is Alan Mendel, Vice President at LeverX, and I will be the moderator for today's webinar, as well as the presenter at the end. Before I turn the time over to our presenters, let me briefly introduce you to LeverX. LeverX assists companies increase business value by leveraging existing investments in SAP solutions. LeverX is an SAP services partner and associate member of the PLM Alliance. LeverX delivers strategic, functional, and technical services in the areas of SAP Product Lifecycle Management, Portfolio and Project Management, and related solutions. LeverX offers services for business process and strategic consulting, solution architecture development, implementation planning and execution, application management support, on-site and remote delivery models. In addition, LeverX provides services for SAP mobile application strategy, development, and implementation, as well as a broad set of SAP technologies, including SAP NetWeaver, Workflow, Business Warehouse, and Business Objects. We are very pleased to introduce our presenters for today's webinar. Our first presenter will be Stan Presbelinski, Director of Research at CIMdata. Our following speaker will be Graham Cullen, Global Vice President, SAP PLM Solution Management for SAP. And finally, I will say a few remarks. Our webinar agenda will proceed as outlined. What is the current PLM market? Why are companies investing in PLM? And what is SAP's position in the PLM market? Presented by Stan Presbelinski of CIMdata. We'll then be pleased to hear from Graham on SAP's PLM vision for delivery of comprehensive PLM capabilities as part of SAP's leading business solution. We will then follow that with some comments around the successful PLM implementations and a significant increase in implementations over the last 12 to 18 months. All right, so now I will turn the presentation over to you, Stan. Please go ahead when you're ready.
Thanks, Alan. Hi, everyone. This is Stan Presbelinski. As Alan said, I'm Director of Research at CIMdata. For those of you who don't know us, we'll spend a minute or two talking about who we are, how we define PLM, which is somewhat different than some of the solution providers and other analysts, some results from our annual market survey that I conduct every year, and then conclude with a few remarks. So CIMdata is the leading independent global strategic management consulting firm, and we also have, as a big part of our business, market research. And we're the only one that focuses on the PLM market. There are other companies out there that consult. There are other companies out there that do market research. But our whole company is focused on the product lifecycle management market. And as we said, it's a strategic management consulting firm, so we hope to maximize through our services our clients' ability to succeed in the PLM market. We do this through three different strands of our business. My responsibility is the research area, conducting specific market research like our PLM study. We have a global NC market study, a simulation analysis market study, and some other reports that we produce during the year. We have in-depth technical research that we look at specific technologies in the market. We provide information out about our members. We provide services to our members, and you'll see in a few minutes that we do have some fairly familiar names as our members. Education, CIMdata has been well known since the 80s, actually. Its attempts to educate the market about emerging trends, defining new capabilities, new areas that companies need to consider when looking at their PLM strategies. We do a certificate program in PLM where we do training. Those are both open public classes, and also we do private classes for companies that are interested in educating their people to make their PLM initiatives more successful. We both do our own conferences and workshops as well as participate in others, and we do training around best practices. Finally, the core of our business is around consulting. As I said, we do market research. We work with both solution providers as well as end-user companies, and in any given year, our revenues are about 60% from end-user consulting. And in that consulting, we are helping them define their vision and strategies for PLM, looking at what their needs are, helping them evaluate different solutions to achieve those objectives, bringing in best practices from other industries, helping them with program management and with market planning. As you can see, we call our provider consulting PLM Success. You'll recognize many of the logos here, including our friends from SAP. But we also work with a lot of large industrial companies as well as some not so large industrial companies. You'll see a smattering here, automotive, aerospace, and it's really interesting in that our consulting business sort of tracks the evolution of PLM adoption. So back when auto and aero were getting started with this, CIMdata did a lot of work there, and now we find ourselves doing a lot of work in process, consumer goods, consumer packaged goods, in some of the areas that many of the providers consider the emerging areas for PLM. So when CIMdata says PLM, what do we mean? We do not consider PLM just a technology. Many providers will talk about offering a PLM solution. To CIMdata, PLM is really a strategic business approach that's enabled by technologies. It covers the entire life cycle on the creation, use, management, and dissemination of the intellectual assets around your products and your processes. We also have a relatively expansive definition because we consider both products and plants. So we include in our broad definition of PLM AEC solutions for architecture, engineering, and construction, as well as mechanical design automation and things more discrete and process in nature. We look at the definition for the processes as well as the products themselves. We support the extended enterprise in our definition and go from concept all the way to the end of life, which is somewhat different than some other people.